What would you say to somebody who wanted to get into racing, maybe didn't have a whole lot of money, they had some money set aside, and they kind of wanted to find out, so they didn't want to invest real heavily, but wanted to get the feel of the sport?
Come out to the track. At the end of the night, after the races are all done, everything's shut down in the pits, and there's no more cars moving around, they always open the gates, and the fans are welcome to come down and talk to the drivers, look at the cars, ask questions. Nearly all of us, I think it's safe to say, and I think Craig and Garrett would probably back me up on this, nearly all of us are looking for help in some way, shape, or form. Be it a sponsorship, somebody to come help scrape mud after the heat races, help get loaded up, help work on the truck.
I like to get loaded up. That would be my job. But scraping mud, seriously, that sounds like it would suck.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who've started that way.
Really? Mm-hmm. And of course, if they're on the crew and they're
right.
probably going to get a chance to drive eventually.
Right. Most owners I know usually let their crew get a shot to get in the truck and try. My own difference, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. My wife's 5'6", 100 pounds soaking wet. The seat I had to build in order for her to drive.
Really? Did you weigh her soaking wet? Because that sounds kind of strange. I mean, I got a wife. I think I might try that one.
But
like, honey, I got this new game. I learned from the NASCAR guys.
But the seat I had to build in order for her to be able to drive our truck, I had to move it forward 8 inches and raise it almost 10 inches for her to be able to see and hit the pedals.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that some of the seats, wouldn't even accommodate. Like my cameraman was going to get out there and ride with, Jed, and some of the seats. One of the first cars he was in, he couldn't even get in the seat.
Right.
He's a pretty big guy.
Oh, these seats that
he's a fat guy. He's not here right now, so I can say, hey, he's a fatty. Like when he's here, though, I just say, wow, you're a striking man. You look like Grizzly Adams. Anyways, I was looking at this go-kart, and it looks pretty impressive. It looks like there's that big engine on there, and you're kind of sitting down there. Even talking to some of the drivers, they were telling me that it's probably a good idea to go-kart driving, to drive on the dirt track, to kind of prepare you for this. Why is that?
Well, it's a good idea to drive go-karts because it gives you a good sense of car control, a good sense of racing with other people, not to freak out when other people are next to you.
And also too, the suspension's a little different. So I know that in the go-karts you really feel the road, right?
Yeah. Okay,
and does that kind of help you? Does it hinder you? Does it add to the experience in feeling the car a little bit better, so you kind of know the principles, the dynamics, the movement? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Following old NASCAR traditions and run some booze across borders of any kind? Or?
Well, I haven't tried that yet.
You got some pretty
I've been thinking about taking some beer over
and
to Phoenix.
You got a team going. You guys separating the cars. You can get the go-kart going, a little case on the back.
I'm sure it would.
So do you think you beat your dad?
I think so.
Yeah. Did your dad ever beat you? Because we can call somebody on that, man. We can help you out.
In doing this, would you recommend, seriously, and I know there's got to be some time. I know you say you're not scared, because I talk to you and you're all pumped up and you're out there. But there has to be moments every once in a while your stomach flips. You're like, oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
That, something bad's going to happen.
Probably when, you see someone up, running high or even running low, and they get sideways right in front of you, and there's nothing you can do almost. Yeah. So when they do that, you kind of jump,
Yeah, when I was riding with Jed, he was he was driving, and then I was in the chair. I know it's not the exact same experience because he was paying attention. He's driving. I was trying to cover his face because I thought that was a funny joke. He didn't like it though. He didn't think it was funny. He didn't think it was. He thought, hey, be serious. This is what he was saying, and I'm like, I couldn't hear him though because it was loud in there. So I thought he was saying, this is funny. When you see that kind of stuff, does it evoke fears in you?
It does, and then it doesn't, because I know the equipment is safe. I know their cars are built really well, so I don't worry about that. I just want them to go out there and win, and I want them to have fun.
Yeah, and they are very, very talented. And one thing that even in researching about NASCAR, we've done a little bit of our homework in terms of checking on the safety factors. Right. And they actually say that driving in one of these cars is safer than going around on the freeway in your own car at 75 miles an hour because of the safety features that are built in.
Right.
And then of course you had a bunch of guys out there. If something does go wrong, they're rushing out there to get to the drivers and make sure they're okay. And that's something, you're on the freeway, you crash, let's face it, it could be hours before
Yeah.
somebody gets you.
Right.
So the next time you're driving on the freeway, I just, maybe you might want to think about that just to keep you awake.
Look at my watch.
How many horsepower are you getting out of this?
We've never actually put this truck on a dyno to find the horsepower, but probably somewhere around 400.
Wow. So now you're getting that horsepower, and then of course you lighten the. Oh, that was one thing I was interested in. They're not actually trucks, are they?
No, they're actually late 70s, early 80s GM metric cars, like Monte Carlos or Regal. One of those cars are all the same chassis.
And then you just.
They take the chassis and then they strip it of everything, and then they build the chassis, the roll cages out for the trucks. They build them all identical, and then use all the suspension parts are all the same, and so they're all stock basically, except the big tires, the racing part, the parts needed to keep them from falling apart going that fast.
Do you think now you saw Jed drive, right? You were out there. You saw him drive. What did you think for Jed? I mean, he's never done it before. I mean, I realize it's kind of hard to be impressed when you see a 28-year-old man. You're like, yeah, God, 12, But what'd you think of his ability?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, no offense, but he probably wouldn't be able to go out there and win his first try. But
Sure.
not very many could.
You did though.
Well, actually, I still haven't won yet.
Oh, you haven't. Okay, your brother won his first try,
Yeah,
right?
Brady won, Garrett won, pretty soon. I still haven't won yet.
So maybe I bet you $100 that Jed could beat you. Would you be interested in that race? You think your dad take you up on that action? Yeah, I know gambling's illegal, but seriously, $100 says he could beat you. Could you do it? Would your dad back you? Is your dad, can we set that up?
I don't know.
Chicken? Come on! Mr. Oy, I don't think he could win, no, not his first time out. He got to drive.
No,
You talk a lot of talk, little man. Come on, man. Where's the action? No, I'm kidding with you. They don't let me gamble at PBS. Well, sometimes they do. That's like basically with my job. Actually, what I was going to ask about, or what I was going to comment on, is that the safety factors were impressive to me and Jed. And I do joke and I get silly sometimes. But one thing that I'm always impressed with is when professionals take time to make sure that what they're doing is done right. And that's one thing I looked at it with those trucks. We weren't down there. We went to the school. It was a real school. It was really easy to see. The quality of instruction was, wow, I was blown away. I mean, even Jed had said it was kind of hard almost to keep up. And when Jed says something's hard, that's something, because that guy he's incredible. He usually learns things like that. So, but he said, just talking about the weights and the balances, and there's a lot of thinking that goes into this. I mean, it's definitely. It's definitely not a dumb man sport. I mean, a lot of people, I think they get that impression with, racing and probably because of the media, probably our fault, because, everything really is. Although Bush, no. We warned you guys.
All of you have made tremendous improvements. I'm telling you, when we first started out today, a lot of y'all were in the very high 20s. A couple of you were in the 30s. Since then, almost every one of you has made it down into the teens. Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Backwards, ladies and gentlemen, he's completing the race backwards, and he gets a checkered flag. He wins! He wins backwards! But what else can you expect from a certified Napa super truck driver? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Red.
Oh, yeah, big guy. That was an incredible experience. I couldn't believe we were driving the truck like that and going at those kind of speeds. I'll tell you what, it really gets the heart racing.
Well, I'm really glad to see that you and Jed had fun. Hey, tell him he did a really good job racing out there.
Tell me about it. And that was his first time out, too. Oh, but I guess you knew that. Hey, anyways, you know what I was thinking?
Bet it's high time we went to the mix.
That's amazing. You're right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Anyways, I'll tell you what. I'll put this away and I'll get right to it. I hope you like it.
Motor on there with gasoline in it.
No.
Yeah, baby, woo!
Was it something like scared like? No, something like that. Yeah, scared shitless? Okay.
It's a good day to die.
impressive.